There's that. All right, one button pressed.
My yesterday was quite interesting in that I wasn't really part of it.
What?
I had a migraine yesterday,
Oh my goodness.
so I'm taking it easy today.
Good. Oh my goodness. That is miserable.
Okay, that volume is down. This volume's in my ears. Notes are up. Who's running this show?
Me.
Yay. That means I don't have to think too hard.
Nope.
It
This is a thinking-free zone.
It is. This is my monkey, and you are my monkeys, and this is my circus.
Yep.
Ooh, ah.
Ooh, ah, ooh, ah.
We both make the super bowel joke.
Mm-hmm.
I love you.
Okay.
He knows.
Let's see. Twitch says we're going. Why is my chat bot not running? Where is...
Your mind?
Possibly back to Twitch. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Channel. Aha.
Go away, notifications.
Oh, there we go.
I don't need notifications. Go away. Just so you know, I'm having to miss the halftime show.
Oh God,
Oh.
So we're not gonna have anybody watching, are we?
Well, that's
Nope.
why I don't know if you saw what I put in there.
Yeah.
If you need a break from superb owls and other games, join us right here for the AIE Podcast.
Yep. All right, Twitch says we're good. Let me...
If there's any halftime show to watch, it's definitely this year's.
What is it?
Dr. Dre, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, Snoop Dogg. I think there's one other one.
Good. We have a SEMA. Thank you, love.
All right. Or at least she's checking in on us.
At least you're checking in on us. All right. So
Cool.
let me know when am I good to start the countdown?
Yeah, you're good.
Going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 on this episode of the AIE Podcast.
February is filled with the love of games. So many games.
Sith happens.
PvP and ESO.
Huge congrats to the STO fleet.
And we have Gusty Tail here to talk to us about AIE in World of Warcraft.
All that and more coming up now.
Bringing you the latest news from the AIE gaming community
From planet Earth and beyond!
This is the AIE Podcast.
Welcome to episode 380 of the podcast celebrating you, the Aaliyah Octa S gaming community, the Die Husband Podcast. This is McCullough. To my left is Muko.
Greetings, gamers.
And to my right, downstairs, and I don't know, somewhere over there, is Tetsemi.
I'm here. I have Star Wars spreadsheets because Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yep.
And we are joined by our very special guest, Gusty Tail, Gusty Coo, Gusty, who is here to talk to us about AIE and World of Warcraft. Welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Awesome to have you. All right, so before we get into the news and the World of Warcraft and all of that, let's talk about what's been going in and out of game. And guess first, Gusty, what have you been up to?
Well, today, in honor of Sports Ball, I made hot wings, teriyaki wings, and a popular holiday treat with an inappropriate name, but it's made with saltines and chocolate chips.
Yeah, we know what it is.
We know what it is. But River also makes really good, which was really quite funny when she wandered around our Yule party saying, "I have Christmas." Beep.
Yeah! In WoW, I recently got my Volpera monk. So cute! Up to level 60, and I'm having a really good time with that, aside from Gusty and Kruth, who is my Alliance Druid.
Awesome.
Very cool.
He had the fabulous hair. What have you been up to?
Oh, is that me?
Really?
I don't see it. It's on my head.
It's amazing.
I mean, other than the unfun of having a migraine yesterday, it was fascinating to start, It was an ocular migraine.
Yup.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ted just had one of those recently.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's like if you ever imagine like looking at your computer screen, someone takes a key and just scratches a line
Ooh.
down one side, and it just kind of flickers.
Yep.
Except you see that when your eyes are closed, you're like, huh, that's interesting.
Sucks, yeah.
I had one that was like just because I have color blindness, so my rods and cones are slightly shifted. It's in grayscale. So mine was just like somebody had shown a big flash in front of me, and I was just the after image.
Oh wow, yeah, they're fun. It wasn't anything until it calmed down, went away, and this was right before I was going to bed yesterday at 6:30 a.m. So I slept, woke up, felt miserable, told go back to sleep. You don't look good. Stay there.
Yeah.
Wake up. Yada yada. So yesterday was a wash, but I did, however, get some time since I was up early because I normally nap around 10 p.m. when the missus goes to bed. And we kind of have a little cuddle nap for a while. I was asleep all day, so I was wide awake. I spent that extra time playing this thing about Iron Man, Low Stark, I think. Low Stark.
Low Stark. Nice.
Yeah. Yep. So I was just kind of fiddling around on that last night. I did manage to get into the server with AIE. So that was, yeah.
Awesome.
Are you doing the free to play?
No, I bought it a while back because I figured like I was a big fan of Diablo and Diablo likes, and this is that the same in MMO form.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured I'll just spend my time playing through it. I don't need to get caught to anything. I don't know if there's gonna be raids or dungeons or whatever. It's just something for me to tinker around in. I figure I've always enjoyed that kind of stuff, so I thought I'd give it a try, and it has been fun.
I've heard it's got good fashion, much like Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, but you can't see it all the time. You have to zoom in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's a similar setup. It's definitely very pretty. It's definitely very, I would say, Korean pretty. Like if you're familiar with how Terra things are.
Yep.
Someone was watching me play. Was it yesterday or the day before? And they're like, "Wow, this reminds me of Terra. That reminds me of Terra. This reminds me of Terra." It's like, yeah, it's almost as if it came from South Korea or something. Huh, interesting.
Which would explain a lot of the outfits.
Yes, yes,
My
definitely.
my son Duskmire was playing it a little bit, and he was disappointed that so many of the characters seemed melee oriented, and he would like to play a caster.
Well, then you play a sorceress, but that's
Well, he just felt there weren't enough choices.
Right.
And it still has the weird class lock. Like if you're female, you can't play a warrior, and if you're male, you can't play a wizard. But this is because this is based on a game that launched 6 years ago in Korea, and they've actually got it on the roadmap that they're going to adjust that going forward.
Good.
Yeah, he said you could clearly see that there were spaces for more things to open up.
There was three. There's at least 3 slots underneath that you can tell are coming, and I had shush Siri, but you can definitely tell there's room to grow, and like you can just kind of tell that like it's what it is like the animations and everything are made for that type of character, and they just didn't want to go through the time of making it gender neutral. So they're going to come back after it's made some money. They'll throw money at it. Okay, now we can make it gender neutral. Yeah. So I am expecting that, but there's some interesting. Like the next one I want to try is the artillery. That's ranged. So
that looks like what Max is wielding there. That looks like artillery.
Oh, yes, that's it. That's the one.
That's a
yeah.
Good Lord, Max.
Yes. He brought Sotor to Lost Ark. But
Nice. Of course he did.
yeah, but when that thing gets going, like it feels like Star Wars. Like he hits a button and turns into a turret, goes full turret mode, and just starts shooting everything down with lasers and everything.
That sounds very Max.
Yeah.
Yes,
it does.
It's yep. And I'll probably try Paladin as well. I went for the AIE server. I went Gunbreaker or Gunblade or whatever they're calling it, because I get Final Fantasy and this mixed up. Right. But same basic idea. You're running around with a big gun blade. It's a sword and a gun. But
Excellent.
I mean, why not?
It's interesting. Yeah. Yeah, and it's interesting. Like the thing they've added to make the Diablo thing different is you hit a button and something happens. So, for example, the Gunbreaker, he puts on a big shield, like a force shield, and goes to town, walks slower, and is a bit tankier.
Right.
The Sorceress becomes like an ascended sorceress and starts just destroying things. Or the alternative to that, instead of staying and fighting, is to flee. So the Sorceress gets a blink away. And the I forget what the Gunbreaker one, because I've had too much fun just squatting down with a big shield and destroying everything.
That does sound fun. Shield bash.
Yeah. Yep. But so yeah, I spent a lot of time on that, obviously. But still, the main part of my game has been Final Fantasy, of course. There's just something about this iteration that just has hold of me. Like in the past, I would have been burnt out by now. But I don't know. Something's different. Something's different. I'm and it's nice to see more and more AIE people piling in. I'm hoping to see some of the late nighters start popping up a little later, and then I can start playing more on the AIE side of things. But I have been getting the Mrs. Mew to play.
Oh,
so I have her spots right here, and so we can play together on the AIE server and get her through the story, because she has a lot of story to go.
There's a lot of story there.
Well, she just met the Scions, so.
Oh Lord. Yeah. She hasn't even had a chance to return to the Standing Stone, because she hasn't gone to the Standing Stones. Oh.
Yeah. So she's basically out of this tutorial. I like to say is tutorial story, real story. So so yeah, that's just tons of time in that, and around the house, dealing with annoying network issues, and there's something about a winged fowl being very cool about itself happening, or something like that.
Yes.
But that's probably enough before we go more into Lost Ark. But,
right. All right, Ted, what have you been up to in and out of game? Like
today. I finally got today outside of game. We have been rearranging the shared office, and by shared, I mean I have a server up there, and then I leave the office so that Heather can work and yell at people and stuff like that, and the server just warms her feet, and it's all good.
He gets mad when I put my feet on the server, people.
Yes, as you should. But no, I got a little 8U rack, and I have two 2U racks and a couple of 1U power supplies, and so it's all installed now, and now I've just got to get the new server imaged and throw ESX on there and start spinning up instances and stuff. And then once I do that, I'm going to migrate the stuff on the old server over, and it's going to probably become a Minecraft server for my daughter. So,
okay, thank you. You finally said a word in that sentence that I understood.
Anyway,
I was following along. I've got a WoW server blade you can borrow if you want to stick this puppy
fit in there. Yeah. So that's outside of game, but the office is now much more. We can move now. We can move around in the office.
I see some unfamiliar boxes over there.
Those are business stuff.
That's all business stuff.
Okay.
But inside, my main focus this week has been SOTOR, because I had 3 classes left to get through the last 3 story beats of 6.2, 6.3, which are 3 flashpoints, and they're long flashpoints because they were like, that's the story progression of the patch, is that flashpoint. So I had to get 1 ranged DPS, 1 healer, and 1 tank through. And I was just like, I'd do a flashpoint, log out, come back, do the next flashpoint, log out, come back, and then clean up all their inventory and stuff. So they're ready for Tuesday. I'm probably going to start with my trooper first and go through the pub side and see that version of the story, and then decide where to go from there. So, but
awesome.
that is what I've been up to. How have your dice been treating you?
Well, do you guys remember a few weeks ago when I had the lovely story about how I died and/or almost died in multiple games? But it was okay because I came back.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Call of Cthulhu is one hell of a game now, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
So we had done a split off thing with our main campaign. where we put those characters on pause, and we had a parallel campaign going because there were some items that were needed for basically to stop the Nazis that they were also after. So we're at the final session of that storyline. Really liked my character. She was, a doctor, because evidently I play medics now. We went into this very strange netherworld that was haunted by this really awful blind creature that looked like, I can't remember. It was basically, it was this horrible, huge thing. It had wings. It was blind. It was seeking us out. We had done this ritual to get there, basically kind of beating the Nazis to it. And once we got there, they could not enter because we needed this. They did not have the ritual to do it. So we go through this whole thing. We defeat this creature once. We find the cup once. We figure out how this cup works. This cup will basically let you see anywhere within a certain vicinity. So we figure out the ritual, the whole bit. We get out of the cave. We find out that and using the cup, we found out that the ritual that this horrible creature had destroyed the Nazi excavation camp and everybody there. Like, great. All right, then. We don't have to deal with them. We're running back to the city. And my character had promised that we were going to take care of this creature. Because these young men kept dying. And their eyes were taken out of their head.
Ooh.
So, yeah. Dark game, but I like it. So we're almost to the city. We're almost there. And by city, I mean a village in Persia. We're to this farm right outside the village, and this creature catches up with us. We did not kill it. We basically put it to the primordial plane, and we fight it, and we're doing pretty good. We had this ritual dagger that we had gotten in a previous adventure. I'm like, all right, we know, it's just a special dagger. Stab it. It doesn't do anything really great, any special. Does this additional bit damage. And my character, because she's a doctor, she doesn't like guns. She prefers to go up. If she's gonna hurt something, she's gonna do it in person. So she goes and stabs it. It tears her throat out.
It's not good.
Not good. One round left. My DM's like, "Is there anything you want to do?" I'm like, "Well, I'm going to try." I'm like, "Well, maybe we got some water from this underground pool in this other world. Try to drink that, see if it maybe was some healing." It was not. Yeah, because I had one round left as I was dying. It proceeded to kill 3/4 of our party.
Whoops.
Ow.
One of them got his last shot in because as you're dying, you can get one more shot in, which killed it. But that is what we need. But one person survived.
Which is all you needed.
All we needed. And they delivered the artifacts that we had found to basically a section of MI6 that deals with weird stuff, which will eventually be delivered to our characters, our main characters.
Nice.
So, yeah, I mean, it literally was the last scene of the campaign, and it was almost a TPK, but we didn't die. Or we did die, but we got our direct, what we were after happened. We saved these artifacts, they got into the right hands, and my character's promise of, all right, we're going to defeat this creature so it stops terrorizing your village. I lived up to that. So I was pretty, I was like, we were all really, really stunned.
But now you know
really
why the
sad.
DM just said, we'll do this with alternate characters.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm correct. Our characters may have been able to handle it, but we think the fact that, it's going on parallel. It's actually there now. The characters that died are about 3 weeks ahead of our characters, which, it's now like September 7th, 1939, and we're aboard a plane with some bad guys. Is where we're starting out next Wednesday. Besides that, Star Wars. We have now upset. Not yet.
I was gonna say the Pike Syndicate.
No, honey. We're already top of the leaderboard of their bounties. We're actually about to upset what remains of the Shadow Collective.
Like you do.
That's not good.
Who have been stealing supplies from the New Republic. Those are the newest ones we're going to upset. Pretty happy with that. Besides that, I hosted a Galentine's brunch today. It was only 2 additional people besides the child's girlfriend that don't live in the house, and I cooked for a small army.
Yep. So we have food for days, Joe.
Yep. Cinnamon rolls, French toast bake, Dutch babies, breakfast meats. So yeah. So that's what I've been up to.
I had a grand feast planned for the festive special bird, but
Thanksgiving?
No, the superb owl.
Yeah,
Yes.
the superb owl. Yeah, but I made some nachos though. Those were really
Oh, nice.
I do love nacho.
avocado fresh.
I'm going to share to the chat room a picture of the cinnamon rolls. They're a thing of beauty. All right.
Still waiting for me.
Yes. All right. So, before we get into WoW, let's go ahead and quickly cover this week's news.
AIE News.
All right. Just a quick heads up. There's a few things going on this week. I don't know if y'all heard. There's a WoW expansion launching February 14th. Destiny 2 expansion launch.
Wait, start over.
Nope. You
said WoW. It's not WoW.
Yeah, I can't believe I said that because I saw Gusty. All right, so and I said week and I meant the remainder of the month. All right, so quick heads up. There's a SWTOR expansion launching February 14th. Destiny 2 expansion launching February 22nd. Ooh, hey, 222. And now a WoW patch. 9.2 on February 22nd. Guild Wars 2 expansion on February 28th, along with what I know. I'm wearing a tutu. Along with Lost Ark launching. Going to be busy back to back till the end of the month.
Yep.
Yep. All right. And just in case that wasn't enough to keep you busy, we have our mandatory fun night schedule, where the fun is mandatory, but attendance, of course, is not. All right. As you well know, people, there's Final Fantasy every day. Anyway, just kidding. Sunday, WoW Classic, 2 p.m. Eastern. Sunday, STO, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, so in 6 minutes.
Yep.
Monday, Guild Wars 2, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday, SWTOR, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. max time. Tuesday, Final Fantasy 14 casual rating, 9:30 Eastern. Wednesday, Final Fantasy Fun Night, 9 o'clock Eastern. You guys just keep changing the times there. Jeez. Thursday, Final Fantasy Progression rating, 9:30 Eastern. Friday, ESO, 9 p.m. Eastern. Friday, Final Fantasy Late Night Fun Night, 11 p.m. Eastern. Saturday, Lotro, 8:30 Eastern. Final Fantasy Map Night at 9:30 Eastern. And we finish off the week strong with New Braid and WoW at 11 p.m. Eastern.
Absolutely.
Yep. Map's going strong. I did see noise about New Braid was going on last night, so hopefully they went pretty well. But,
yeah, with the WIT team folks joined more than usual, joined in, and we got all the way to the sort of end tier of bosses, so that was really nice.
It's cool when they can join forces like that.
Yep.
Yes.
Alrighty, over in Streaming and Guild podcast news, we start with the SWTOR Escape Podcast 414, Legacy of Sith Eve. Oh, is that a new holiday? With only a few days left before 7.0, we've decided to team up, or I should say the SWTOR guys, the SWTOR Escape Podcast guys, have decided to team up with Working Class Nerds for another joint episode and talk about what they've been doing, what they're excited about that's coming in 7.0, and what they expect to be doing first. Probably story. I'm guessing story. Lots of story. And then, of course, the aforementioned Working Class Nerds, episode 140, episode mashup. And now it's from their side of things.
Yep.
Marcus and Nick are joined by the legendary duo of Max and Seema from the Escape podcast to do the episode formatting blend of the two shows, where 4 of them break down what they're looking forward to in the upcoming expansion, Legacy of the Sith, and enjoy. So basically they're just pitching to each other saying, hey, we're going to be with them. Hey, we're going to be with them.
Awesome.
Yep. All right. And in Boards and Swords, number 189, RuneScape is going to be a board game? Games from our childhoods. A Batman version of Detective? Ooh, that sounds fun.
Ooh.
People shelling out millions for Marvel Zombies. And we talk about those classic games that we grew up and play in our childhoods. And in Fleet Action Report episode 83, Best Served Cold, Fleet Action Report, a Star Trek online video podcast, Nicholas and Greebog intend to finish the Cold War. Any the threat posed by the Breen to the Deferi people. Will they uncover the reason for this unwarranted attack?
Awesome. And related to Boards and Swords, Board Game Night is still running on the first and third Thursdays of every month. They start 7:30 p.m. Central and go until about 9:30 p.m. There's always room for more, and want you all to join the fun. And Lost Ark, the AIE gaming community has entered the newly launched NAEU version of the MMO ARPG Lost Ark. It's an MMO that includes the popular ARPG elements with millions of players worldwide, journey through the lands of Orchestra, seek out fragments of the Lost Ark to put the stop to the demonic invasion that threatens the world. Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
AIE is currently playing the NA East regular server. Note that character restrictions may be temporarily appearing to help curtail new account creation on heavily populated worlds. They're being lifted periodically as population stabilizes to allow players to join friends on these servers. So obviously, check back. It may require a game restart for it to actually reflect a server list. Should you have one character on the server, these restrictions will not apply on your account. Excellent. If you do see a queue in excess of 2 or 3 hours, if you see a queue that's huge, 2 to 3 hours, don't worry, it does move quickly. 2 to 3,000 hours. Wow. What is time? It moves quickly.
Parsecs.
Yes, parsecs. Join over 4 members of AIE game as they take on dungeons, raids, weekly trade skills, tasks, and much more. If you have questions, feel free to drop to the Lost Ark category in AIE community Discord. Hey, Gusty, we gave you the WoW section. I should have warned you beforehand.
That's okay. I was expecting that. So,
Oh, good.
WoW news. In WoW news, the raid team, Where's the Tank, got there ahead of the curve achievement at long last, defeating the Dark Lady Solaris on heroic difficulty, and congrats to Wit. Oh, and then there was this. Blizzard announced the long-awaited patch 9.2 is going to launch on Tuesday, February 22nd, in just over a week. So much to do. But wait, there's more. In future patch 9.2.5, they will bring cross-faction, alliance, and horde dungeons, raids, and PvP to WoW. Our alliance raid team, Hell Froze Over, has fulfilled their name's prophecy.
Yep.
There was much rejoicing.
Yep.
Much rejoicing, much confusion when they show up at each other's, capital cities, and you're like, "Hey, why aren't you letting me in?"
Yeah.
What do you mean last time? What do you mean last time? Nuts. Water over the bridge. No big deal.
Still, every time I'm in Dalaran, I go to the wrong
yeah.
area
100%.
to try to use their portal. Yeah, and get booted.
Yeah.
But wait, we're done.
And just FYI, we don't know how the communications are going to go between the raid teams and the coordination of that. So we're hoping for something like a new raid between the two groups. But
yeah, there's such excitement for that.
We'll have to see how Blizzard's going to do, if they're going to enhance the community system, because right now, if you're part of a same faction but cross-server community, you can use the calendar and do invites. But if you're part of a battle tag community, which is cross-faction, cross-server, there's no calendars set up on there. So we'll see what they're going to do to enhance it. So
We could temporarily do stopgap fixes of just
Oh, yeah.
putting in a calendar invite on. I mean, there's only one Alliance guild, so that's easy.
Right, but in general, it's just nice
In
to,
general,
to
yeah.
use that in-game feature if we can. So
Yep. And so yeah, we're working on, and we can still use the new Braid channel in Discord because that doesn't care which faction. You're in.
exactly.
Yeah. Alrighty, over in the SWOTOR news, the Wednesday night ops team is looking for a full-time DPS. They run from 9 to 11 Eastern on the imp side. No prior ops experience is needed. They run story mode ops. In SWOTOR, it's all about that X-Pack. Legacy of the Sith is launching on Tuesday this week, the 15th. If you ask people what they're looking forward to most, it's probably the next installment of the story. That's what I'm figuring everyone's going to want to start on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Many systems are getting an update too. If you've been thinking about dipping your toes back into the game, now is a pretty good time. It won't matter if you remember how to do things or not. It's all new again. All new to everyone. All new stuff. If you would be brand new, come check it out. You'll be figuring out with everyone else, so everyone's going to be lost. Let's be lost together.
Exactly.
Because this is normally how major updates go, we are predicting smooth sailing and no server restarts. But your, mileage may vary.
That is
optimistic.
so tongue-in-cheek.
Right,
There was a
right.
bingo card that the 6-hour downtime is not going to be 6 hours.
So I think it's gonna be. So that should be the middle square.
No,
Gimme.
the middle square is server restarts. I mean, that's just
Yeah, given.
you just
Yeah.
given, yeah.
But if you are interested in joining the chaos, fun, join them in Discord on Tuesday the 15th at 9 p.m. if it opens then. We'll be hanging out in voice while we explore the newness. It will the EA spoiler-free zone, though. So
Absolutely.
much like if you're familiar with how we don't do spoilers in Final Fantasy, let's do the same thing for SWTOR.
Yep, 100%. All right. And in ESO news, cool things the guild has been doing. New public dungeons, hunting world bosses, and clearing zones of sky shards. If you are interested in running dungeons for pledges on Monday nights, they have 2 dungeon groups that occasionally need someone to fill in. Check out the Undaunted Enclave channel in Discord for more information. And things we have planned, trials on nights that they have 12 people on for the mandatory fun nights. On the 17th, the PvP event in ESO starts. Feel free to post in Discord to coordinate efforts and group up for the event. They won't be doing this as part of MFN due to the faction requirements and Kinney's general dislike of PvP.
That is very true.
Yep. But the new DLC dungeons leading to High Isle come out on March 14th for PC, and we'll be grouping up to run them from MFNs the week they release.
So, by the way, here's some fun behind the scenes thing. Kenny was over for brunch today, and she said, "Oh yeah, I need to send him my ESO notes." And Ted got a little upset when I told her just to go over to his computer and type them in.
Yes.
You told me that is not how this works.
That is not how this works.
Right there.
Nope.
At the table.
Nope.
Yeah. All right. All right. In an STO news, our Fleet Starbase shipyard just got an upgrade to Tier 5, which is huge.
It is.
Congrats, guys. It gives us access to the best fleet ships available. The anniversary is also going on, which awards free T6 ships. It's a pretty good one at that, the Jirac Alliance carrier. It only runs to the 24th, and you need 20 days worth of activities, but you can buy out missing progression with Zen, the in-game currency. The Klingon Recruit event is happening, which lets you create a new Klingon character and complete special tasks to earn account-wide rewards. And while all the rewards take a while, you only need to get the progress tracking item by March 9th, which is only a short way into the tutorial.
Yeah, literally create the character, do a little bit of the tutorial, you get the tracking thing, and then once you have it, you can do it even once the event's done.
Awesome.
It's like a unlock for all your characters, so.
Yeah.
Kapla!
Exactly.
We have a Fleet Fun Night on Thursday the 11th, on Thursday at 11 p.m. And Nicholas and Greebog host Fleet Action Report live on their Twitch channel, Twitch TV/Greebog, every Monday at 11 p.m. Eastern. Activities and attendance at both of these have been ticking up lately, and more are always welcome.
Alrighty. Over in Final Fantasy 14 news, we didn't get an official statement for them, but we thought we'd just wing it here.
Yeah,
But I know that map nights are still very busy. They are doing map nights depending on who shows up, but I know that the current level ones have been not quite as popular. In fact, the prices have been dropping like mad. It's kind of crazy because not as everyone's into they call it the hobo cape.
Yeah.
So, but I have a feeling they're going to add some new stuff to it in the next patch or two. To kind of wing that out. So a lot of people have been going back to the level 80 and 70 stuff because that transmog is still or glamour depending on what game you're playing. I'm trying to talk to the WoW audience since they're playing this.
Right. Yeah.
But they're doing a lot more of the 80s and 70s, so you don't have to be as high level to do those. It helps to be 90, sure, but I mean technically the level 90 stuff you can solo on a warrior, but warrior can solo anything.
Right.
But yeah, those are still as busy as ever. I know they're still pushing really hard for raiding teams. If you are interested in doing any of the Savage content, they are looking for you. Speak up in the Final Fantasy 14 channel. There's a raid recruitment channel as well. Make sure you say what game you're asking about, though. I did notice some people saying, "Hey, I want to raid." Okay, we would love to have you, but tell us what games because
right.
We're raiding everywhere. And I mean, Lost Ark will be online before we know it. But make sure you speak up there. They are looking for you. There is an actual form that Abovan put on. I think it's pinned on the Final Fantasy channel.
It is.
If you want, go ahead and fill that out. Tell them what times and days you want it to raid because they want to start matching people up. There's a lot of really great content that is Savage. And I honestly think a good way to start is probably to do last expansion Savages. It's still challenging even at current max level. And there's still fun stuff to get out of there. There's good gear pieces, good weapons that get out of there. There's mounts and pets and stuff like that you can get out of there. And it's good practice because the same stuff in there, a lot of the same stuff they're going to use in the new stuff. And there's only 4 right now. They still have 2 more wings to open up. So get in now. Now is the time to start raiding.
Yep.
They are in the middle of the Valentine's Day event. If you want to get in on that, there's a neat chocobo barding. It's a neat little story with Moogles and post if you're really into, mail, sending mail around, that sort of thing. And that's probably a big part of it. I know that the activity is going up and up and up. Abovan's stonks are still going up. We're, hand over fist on FC credits. So The activity's been noticed. It's a good time over there. They are selling the game again. That's a big change.
Yeah.
Right.
So they've got room again. The queues are gone practically. So if you're worried about getting into the game, you can get in now. And like I said, Mrs. Mew has been able to actually play with me now. So that's been a nice change. So yeah, jump on in.
Absolutely. All right, and in Guild Wars 2 news, The End of Dragons is coming on 2/28/2022. Jedi will be setting up a group night shortly after launch to unlock the new Guild Hall. Ooh, shiny. Stay tuned to the Guild Wars 2 Discord channel for scheduling and more information. Dungeons and more, usually monthly. Check Discord for scheduling. Come join us in Cantha. Also, the guild bank is full of potentially useful items. Please take out what you need, and if there's something you can't withdraw, ask an officer to pull it out for you.
All right.
Same for WoW on that one.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, in Lotro news, Update 32 is scheduled to go live on Wednesday. This update brings a new account-based legendary reward system that starts at level 45. If you reach the end of the track, there is a repeatable goal for more rewards. A new region that will take the players to Trollshaw to Angle of Methelen?
Sure.
We're going to go with that. All right. The new region is free to VIP since it's available in the Lotro store. All accounts have the benefit of premium wallet, and the gold cap has been lifted for non-VIP. Excellent. Finally, one of Smog's last treasure hoards has been opened up, and the dwarves of Erebor have moved to reclaim it, join them in owning a piece of Middle Earth. In the Great Hall under the mountain, aka new premium housing area, Erebor housing includes features like swimmable gold coins and life-size chess and/or checkerboards. Ooh, that's fun.
So you don't break your neck when you go swimming in the gold coins? How does that work?
Who knew?
I mean,
I like
Scrooge
that.
McDuck pulled it off, so you know.
Yeah,
Well, you have to be one of his relatives, though. If you're not related to him, you can't do it. You'll just break your neck.
Yeah.
Maybe they give you a buff for that. All right. And after all that news, Gusty, why don't you tell us what's going on with AIE and World of Warcraft?
Okay, so the past couple of weeks we've had this amazing news in World of Warcraft. Patch 9.2 is going to launch in a little over a week, and they're going to bring in a new zone, Zereth Mortis, a new raid, Sepulchre of the First Ones, and there will be new pets, new mounts, new transmog, yay! All the things I love. And players will be able to equip 2 legendary items. Note some restrictions apply to those.
Always.
But yeah. But it's still exciting because we now have 1 and you'll be able to have 2. Yay! Our raid teams are shaking off the dust, and so far all of them that I've heard from are looking for some new members. So anyone interested, please check the raid team recruitment and raid team news channels in Discord. I'll also be saying stuff regularly in just guild chat. With the new legendaries coming, I'm planning to organize a guild event or events to gather mats because it's going to take a lot. One other thing that is really interesting coming to this patch is there will be a male counterpart to the Warlock Succubus pet.
Yes.
The Incubus is unabashedly sexy.
Nice.
And I am... Yeah.
I'm getting some pictures of that because, you know.
Oh my god.
Beefcake.
Yeah. Pretty much all he wears is a belt with a really long dangling thing in the front.
All right then.
And I'm kind of interested to see this response because when I started playing WoW, I was like a little uncomfortable with the succubus behavior.
Yeah.
And I kind of shrugged it off. I mean, it's legit. It's a warlock pet. Blah blah blah. But I couldn't help feeling like I wonder if the male developers saw a guy acting like this. Would they feel it was still quite as like this is the way it should be? So, and you know, I dealt with constantly that joke in Baron's chat. There are no girls in WoW. So now times have changed, and the Incubus is a part of that.
Nice.
So looking forward to that. Moving on. There's excitement, great excitement with our Alliance Guild Virtus regarding the cross-faction play that's coming in 9.2.5. No idea when that'll be. And they can't wait to join New Braid on Saturday nights. Virtus is also very active in running Mythic Plus dungeons, which are going to continue and are very important. And thanks to them, I've actually been enjoying this content. It was like one step above PvP for me. So I think you understand what that means. Yes. I'd like to encourage Mythic Plus groups on the Horde side as well, and I'm hopeful that maybe cross-faction play will be one path toward this. It's a little bit harder. Well, it's easier on the Alliance side because one guild, it's easy to see everybody and what they're doing. Yeah. We're spread across a bunch on the Horde side, which is fabulous. I have been, because attendance has been down, kind of moving active players who ask for it into Gusty's guild so that they can actually immediately see who's playing. And there's been some response on that. It was just like a you have to opt in. I'm not going to move everybody around. Sure. Hopefully with the new patch coming, a lot of folks are going to come back to WoW, and we'll just see more activity in general. And I'm looking forward to that.
Awesome.
Yep.
All right.
Very cool. And there's been a lot of they're working on a lot of, for lack of a better term, quality of life changes in both 9.2 and 9.5 going forward, especially when it comes to alts. Like if you have a bunch of I think it's the embers on one character, but you're not playing that character.
Cinders.
What is it? Cinders.
There's Soul Ash and Soul Cinders, and
right.
You need both.
Yep.
Ash, currently, you can send to your alts. Cinders is only stuck on the one character. Yep. So they're going to allow you to trade Cinders. Yeah, yep. That's big.
Exactly. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. And then...
And also, yeah, oops, sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, just at Zereth Mortis, there's you unlock a bunch of stuff. You have to play through a campaign, a bunch of different stories. And part 1 of the campaign, once you've done it once, your next character in, you can skip the first 3 chapters of it.
Yep.
And just talk to somebody and say, I've seen this before, let me go. And then you have to do the rest, but the big initial chunk you can skip, which is great.
And the other thing, just mechanically, is the flying is tied to the story, correct? Not a reputation.
Correct. And they move that around.
And for once, you will actually be able to fly in the end patch zone, which they haven't done.
Oh, wow.
Ever. So you can actually...
Nazjatar, you could fly, actually. It took a long time.
I thought there was a zone after that. See, I've blocked BFA completely.
There was. It was Nomergon, but didn't they... Not Nomergon. What do they call it? Mechagon, yeah. But they gave you flying on that, too.
Eventually, yeah. And that was a much smaller zone, though. So Nazjatar, it made such a difference. Nazjatar was horrible.
3D craziness. Even with flying, that place is confusing.
Yeah.
It is, but it was beautiful, and you could appreciate it. Yeah, it was a lot of mountains. A lot of mountains.
A lot of holes
caves.
And nooks and crannies.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. So that'll be nice. I think they also did, if you have a 6-month sub, speaking of flying mounts, that there's a new flying mount coming out.
No, we already got it.
You have
it. There might be another one. Yeah, it was right for Lunar New Year. It's a Year of the Tiger, beautiful sort of gummy bear blue tiger mount with beautiful wings.
Yep.
And he's out already, and lots of folks are flying around on him. Me too. I have a recurring sub, so I just always get those. It's great.
Very nice. When is the next Trial of Style coming up? Do you know?
I did not check that. It's twice a year.
Yeah.
And I think it was sometime around Christmas, maybe sometime between. Next time I log in game, I'll check. But I think it's a few months away. Right now we're finishing up the Lunar Festival for Lunar New Year, and also the Love is in the Air Valentine's Day Festival just started this week. So they're kind of overlapping until tomorrow, and so there's just lots of different annual holiday things for people to do if they want. The Love is in the Air has the newly renamed I can't think of the name of it.
Like
Heartbreaker.
Heartbreaker.
Yeah, instead of the Love Rocket.
Nice.
Which, it's all part of their trying to take out some content that people found objectionable.
Totally.
Yeah.
I was frankly okay with the Love Rocket, but I completely understand the goal of what they're up to.
I mean, they changed the model. They didn't change the model, so it's still...
Nope.
Yeah.
It still looks exactly like
it's still big,
it
it's still pink, it's still a rocket. Yep.
Right, but still,
super plush.
No, exactly. Yeah. So, Gusty, what have you been focusing on in game, or what do you plan on focusing on game for 9.2?
Immediately, it's going to be getting my 2 druids, Gusty Tail, who's my main for this expansion on the Horde side, and Kruth, who's the Alliance druid. She's a night elf. I've never played a night elf before. It was always like, ew, night elf, pew, pew, pew. And I have a really great time. Oh, man, Shadow Meld is great. It's not as good as War Stomp on a Tauren, I have to say, but it is very useful. And
if you're tanking Shadow Meld and you need to do a tank swap, that's beautiful.
No, I heal. I'm healsy.
But that's the other thing. Hey, you accidentally draw aggro, Shadow Meld.
Yep, and when you're the last person or one of the last people standing on a wipe, it sometimes will work.
Sometimes it'll just reset the boss, and you're like, "Don't look at me! Don't look at me!" Nope.
Yep. So that's what I've been using it for, and just questing out in the world. If I pull something I don't want to, it's just like, oh, I'm like a mini rogue. Great.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. My first character was a night elf hunter, so I started out on the Alliance side. So
awesome.
Technically, I did too, but it was like I had a character that I tested WoW on, like on the first week, and it was a night elf druid.
Yep.
And I was very confused as I walked towards town and was suddenly killed by a bunch of horde.
Right?
Whoops.
Yeah, they were in the world tree somehow.
Oh.
So, yeah, and this was like on the first week. So, yeah, that was interesting.
Were they raiding it, or you think there was a glitch?
No, I think they were just running amok and exploring to see if they could. I think it was just one of those cases because if you remember how Darnassus was like way over here, and there's just all this newbie area in the tree.
Yeah.
Like if you're not near the main city, you have to be like on the main street to get help from the guards. If you're doing quests, you're on your own. If
there's a lot of
sneaks in.
space on the other side of the tree.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you can sneak
between
past
that and the nearest town. Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't. It doesn't. The little portal doesn't care what faction you're in. You can pop up. You just have to run for your life to get out of the way of the guards.
Right.
So yeah, that was surprising. And then I want to say like later I came back and started playing Horde and was like, oh, this is fun. So.
Right. Big difference.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome. All right. So I think that is it for this evening. While the chat room begins suggesting subtitles, Gusty, thank you so much for joining us. Always a pleasure.
Indeed.
You have anything to plug? Twitter, or you just want to tell everyone to go find you in Discord?
Yeah, I'm in Discord. I think half the guild has me on BattleTag, and that's
Right.
I pop in between. I sort of in between. I try to put equal time on both. But I've been doing a lot of invites lately on both sides, which yay!
Yep.
Bring us your alts. We're gonna do lots of alt-friendly things in 9.2. So yeah, get that first one through, and then bring your group.
Absolutely.
Alrighty. So we'll go ahead and end the show by saying that if you have any questions or comments about our show, you can email us at podcast@aie-guild.org. You can follow us on Twitter. The show is at AIE Podcast. I am at the Mew Cow. Makala is at Cyberwaif, and Tetsemi is at Ivory Tiger. We record live with video every other Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. You can join the chat room and play along with us on our website, which is aie-guild.org/podcast-live-stream. And our Discord server for chat is eie-guild.info/Discord. For past episodes, you can see them on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/c/the AIE Podcast. Our theme was composed by the amazing Andrew Allen. Follow him at Keys with Soul on Twitter or visit his website, andrewallenmusic.com.
And now it's time to play. Well, we don't have any segments, but that's okay because we are ever hopeful. If you do have a segment that you want to drop in, even to highlight a podcast or something that you're doing in-game, an event you're running, please let us know, and we will drop it in.
All
and
right.
don't forget to wear a tutu.
Yes.
Exactly.
Oh, yes. On a 2/22 Tuesday. Join us.
Yeah, put your pictures in Pixar. Didn't happen.
Yes. Okay, so next time, which we're trying to figure out the scheduling right now, behind the scenes, we're going to be talking to Max and Seema about Star Wars. So until then, AIE, this is Makala.
This is Mew Cow.
This is Tetsemi.
And this
And
has
Gusty.
been... Yay! And this has been the AIE Podcast.
Yay!
Hey! Excellent show.
We'll see if anyone's paying attention to show titles or if they're watching
That's
Super
in our
Battles.
chat, honey. So why don't you put it in the...
I don't know what chat I'm in. All right.
Yeah. Yes.
Wait.
You,
Yes,
I
Seema,
think
you
are.
did agree to it because we asked and said, did you want to be this week before the patch launched or in 2 weeks after the patch launched? And you guys said next time.
However, how do you feel about being next Sunday?
Yeah.
This is me. Dad, ask them.
Screenshot or All right. I'm going to officer
Just
chat.
another picture, Max.
The receipts.
Quick, do it fast before she deletes it.
I know, exactly. Oh, yeah.
I just found that picture of Max with his with his gun. That's a
Yeah, it's
flamethrower.
hilarious, isn't it?
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Yep. That is the artillery. Easier to say than to
Yep.
easier to do than to say. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try that one next because
That's a
I
big
have.
gun.
I've been playing with. Well, you should see the gunbreaker gun. It's even bigger. Like it's just a giant gun with a huge blade on the end of it. So it's like this long on the screen. But I want to try artillery because I am hoping it's like a ranged version of that game because that's the one thing I haven't really enjoyed as much is the melee characters. Just they feel like they're so cramped. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it makes sense for a tank because if they're a tank, ranged tanks are weird, like SWTOR. But it's nice to have that tanky feel. But I definitely did enjoy the sorcerer, just destroying things with the sorcerer. Like every possible element you can think of, you're just throwing as a sorcerer.
Very cool.
Incubus for the rest of us.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, I added that one. All right.
Maybe we can just take the last SWTOR Escape podcast and just take some clips, and we can make it seem like they're there.
That's right. Cool. All right.
She doesn't show her face. You just see the little graphic. So
there you go.
Who would know? You just ching, ching.
Yeah.
And we'll just like intercede some stuff in there.
Cool. All right. Well, I think we are good. We'll go ahead and cut the stream. Thank you all, chat room, as usual. Thank you guys for coming on. That's great.
Thank you all.
We had fun. All right. Bye, chat room.